Look at that box. Oh my goodness, it exploded.
Hello and welcome to Falcon Friday, and I thought I would get dressed for the occasion since I am a proud Ford owner now. That was until this turned into a complete nightmare. So here's how I feel about it now.
I'm just kidding, but on a serious note, the latest issue is the keys are inside the ignition and the doors are all locked. But by some miracle, the trunk is still open. So I need to figure out if I can go through here and retrieve the keys. Yeah, so pretty lucky that I can go through the trunk to get the keys. How was I that stupid, you may ask? Well, let me catch you up on what's been happening the past couple of days. So by now you saw that I picked up this AU Falcon, and the plan was to get it running on the standalone ECU and then start having some fun. I got this thing for a bargain, so the plan was to do exactly that. But it turns out it's not going to be that easy. After getting the standalone power mods ECU wired up into the car, if you haven't seen that video, you can check it out over here. I couldn't for the life of me get this thing to fire up. I talked to a few people and we decided to get the ECU sent away and get it tested because I might have damaged something doing all the wiring. Luckily, Lance from Talk Tuning was just busy on this Ford Ranger 4-liter V6. Setup of the Ford Ranger was very similar, so we took my power mods ECU, plugged it into the Ford Ranger to see if it'll start up, but still with no luck. So he said he'll send the ECU away to power mod so that they can test it for me. And yeah, this is the confusing part. They said there's nothing wrong with the ECU. So at this point, obviously I must have messed up somewhere with the wiring, so I went through that yet again. I even picked up a brand new battery for the car because I was using the one out of the M104 and it has seen some better days. It still didn't want to start up. I then decided to take the crank sensor from the M104 and make a bracket for it so that I can see if that'll work. Even though I was getting RPM from the Ford crank sensor, it was worth a try. This also didn't work, so I had to call in some backup. Andre came over to get something welded and he offered to give me a hand to completely rewire the whole ECU. The way I wired it up the first time was using the car's wiring loom, so we decided to ditch that idea and take the ECU loom that you get with the power mods ECU and take that directly to the injectors, the coils and the crank sensor. And guess what? Still no luck. So it was pretty late, so I just closed up the car and went to bed. And I guess that's when I locked the keys inside the car. At this point, I have no idea what the hell is going on with this thing. We are getting RPM from the crank. I also tested and cleaned the injectors right when I got the car, so that's fine. One more thing I want to try out is getting the M104 coils on the car and seeing if that works. So I guess let's do that. Alright, so I quickly went ahead and got it wired up, got the coils in there. It looks very rough at this stage, but I just want this thing to fire up, you know? And then I got the original Ford crank sensor in there because that works. I do get RPM from it. Injectors are wired up, everything should be good. Got the battery on there. This battery just for extra for the fuel pump. And then on the inside I have the laptop again, already picking up the ECU. So not very optimistic about this, but let's give it a try. Okay, so I've been playing around with the trigger setup and this is how it sounds now. Okay, that was a huge backfire. Smells funny. Now at that point the battery was pretty much drained yet again, but it did sound a bit better. But the thing is, the M104 coils doesn't really fit into the engine, so I don't think there was a very good connection. But I had them laying on top of the engine at one point, all the coils with 6 spark plugs in, and we got spark on all of them. Now personally I think there's nothing wrong with the coil pack of the Ford. I just think the power mods ECU doesn't really like it. I'm not sure. But anyway, we need to solve the issue, and I was advised to get a Volkswagen VR6 coil pack. And here it is, brand new. Now the plan wasn't to spend any money on this freaking car, but anyway, got a new battery. This is the coil pack. I didn't get the leads just to save some money. So I'm gonna try and modify these. If I can't do that, then I'll just have to buy the leads. Let me see if I can get these leads connected to this, and then we'll try again. Okay, so Lance, my tuner, told me that you need to remove the bottom piece. So let's see. Wow. It's never that easy. How the hell? I guess that's not gonna happen. I don't want to round these out, but let's see. Okay, so there's where I want to be. So I think this is some kind of igniter or something that I don't need. So I'm just gonna disconnect it here. Maybe break off these tabs. Point of no return. But anyway, I just need to connect the wires up to over here. Lance did send me a wiring diagram of this. So with the leads, you have your spark plug side, and then this side. Just, oh my goodness, that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, I just can't catch a break. Luckily I found a spare place that had Mark 1 Golf plug wires. So yeah, picked up 2 sets of those. Let's try them. Look at that box. Oh my goodness, it exploded. So I've been playing around with the idling screw, and this is how easy it starts now. Small backfire, and then that box is done. But there we have it. It's idling on its own. Doesn't sound bad at all. Got some steering fluid in there, got some coolant in there. Steering steering pump was a bit loud, but now it seems to be quiet. I'm so excited. And there we have it. After about 2 months of freaking just nightmare after nightmare, the car started up. Now I do need to sort out everything over here, make it look better, make it actually last and not fall off while driving, because I really want to get this thing driving. I still need wheel nuts. Been having a hard time finding some of those as well, so I need to figure that out. But I think that's going to be it for this video. Come back next week Friday for Falcon Friday and we'll be driving this thing. I'm pretty sure we will be, because I already tested. I didn't know if the automatic gearbox will even shift into gear without the ECU or the original ECU of the car, but it does. Wheel nuts, button everything up, figure out a way to open a window, yeah, and then we'll take it for a test drive. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Thank you so much for watching, and then I'll see you in the next one.